Swedish defense firm Saab wants Canada to buy and build its fighter jets. The firm is pitching a partnership with viperJet and promising to create up to 10,000 jobs.
To do their own upgrades, to build parts of it, to do final assembly and tests. We, as Saab, we are prepared to do that technology transfer to Canada and support.
What if buying a fighter jet could shake the balance of global power? Canada thought it was just replacing old aircraft, until the decision sparked quiet warnings from Washington. One jet represents unmatched technology, the other promises freedom and control. But this isn't just a military purchase, it's a test of sovereignty. Can a country stay loyal to its allies while refusing to depend on them? The answer could redefine how modern alliances work, and the world is watching what Canada does next. Swedish defense company Saab wants Canada to buy its Gripen fighter jets and even build parts of them locally. Saab says this deal could create up to 10,000 jobs in manufacturing and research, while also sharing technology so Canada can upgrade and assemble the jets on its own. What seemed like a simple plan to replace Canada's old fighter planes quickly became more complicated. Canada was expected to choose the American F-35, but when it seriously considered Sweden's Gripen, the Pentagon quietly warned there could be consequences. Canada didn't back down. Instead, it made one thing clear. It wants control over its own air defense and doesn't want to rely completely on another country. This isn't about rejecting the US or NATO, but about independence. The situation highlights a bigger issue: who really holds power in military partnerships, and how much freedom allies truly have when making defense decisions. On paper, Sweden's Gripen fighter jet shouldn't have worried anyone. It's already used by countries like Sweden, Hungary, Brazil, and the Czech Republic. The jet is battle-tested, works well with NATO systems, and is built for tough conditions. But the Pentagon reacted strongly because the Gripen offers something many countries want: independence. Unlike the F-35, it doesn't rely heavily on US-controlled software or approvals. Countries can manage their own data, weapons, and upgrades. Once they buy it, they fully control how it's used. If Canada proves this model works, other nations might rethink their dependence on American jets. Canada's geography makes this decision even more important. It protects one of the largest airspaces in the world, much of it in the harsh Arctic. Jets there must handle extreme cold, long distances, and limited infrastructure. The Gripen was designed for exactly that. It can take off from highways, be refueled quickly by small crews, and keep flying even when resources are tight. The F-35, on the other hand, is incredibly advanced, but depends more on strong support systems, digital networks, and large facilities. This doesn't mean the F-35 isn't powerful. It clearly is. But the debate shows two different approaches, one focused on high-tech integration, the other on flexibility and self-reliance. The Gripen is built with one key idea in mind: systems can fail in war. Air bases might be damaged and communication networks could go down. So instead of focusing only on advanced features, the jet is designed to stay operational. It values reliability and flexibility over complexity. This thinking shifted Canada's debate from simply buying new aircraft to rethinking military strategy. Modern air forces now know that large, fixed bases are easy targets. Spreading aircraft across smaller locations, even roads or remote runways, makes them harder to destroy. The Gripen fits well into this approach, helping air forces keep flying even during chaos. The US understands this shift, which is why tensions rose. Washington warned that if Canada reduced or canceled its F-35 purchase, the US might increase its own fighter patrols in Canadian airspace under NORAD. The system has long worked on trust, but officials suggested it could need restructuring if Canada stepped back. This warning came as Canada reviewed the F-35 deal after costs jumped by about $8 billion in just 3 years. Prime Minister Mark Carney ordered a reassessment to see if the project still made sense for the country's defense and economy, especially as relations with Washington became more strained. Meanwhile, Sweden's Saab presented Canada with another option, one focused on control, resilience, and strategic independence. Sweden's Saab offered Canada more than just fighter jets. The proposal included local manufacturing, technology transfer, and about 12,600 Canadian jobs, a plan that could boost both national security and the economy. Industry Minister Melanie Joly stressed that defense spending should protect the country while also creating benefits at home, and Saab's offer seemed to check both boxes. U.S. officials pushed back, warning that choosing the Gripen could make joint operations harder. They suggested American jets might have to handle more patrols over Canadian airspace, sending a clear signal. This decision had become about influence, not just aircraft. The pressure also came during a time of wider political tension, with President Donald Trump threatening tariffs on European allies. That raised a bigger question for Canada. How dependent should its security be on systems controlled by another country? The F-35 delivers top-level stealth, powerful sensors, and smooth coordination with U.S. forces, but it also ties Canada closely to American-controlled software, upgrades, and maintenance, creating long-term dependence. The Gripen offers a different path: lower costs, more local industry involvement, and full control over key systems. The downside? It could limit access to some advanced NATO capabilities and make coalition missions more complicated. In the end, neither option is perfect. Cutting back on the F-35 could strain relations with Washington, while sticking with it deepens reliance on the U.S. And because Canada operates within NORAD, complete independence isn't really possible, no matter which jet it chooses. Autonomy isn't all or nothing. It comes in degrees. Canada isn't rejecting its allies. It's trying to redefine the relationship. Ottawa has made it clear this isn't anti-American. It's about moving beyond dependence. Alliances, in Canada's view, should feel like partnerships, not chains of command. What really caught Washington's attention wasn't the jet itself, but Canada's willingness to question the usual system. For years, fighter programs have quietly tied many countries to one power center through software, upgrades, and shared data. When Canada challenged that setup, the conversation quickly turned political. The real concern wasn't radar range or combat power, it was the example Canada might set. If a country can stay interoperable with allies while keeping more control, others may want the same balance. Now, many nations are watching closely, not just to see which jet Canada picks, but how firmly it stands by its decision. This moment hints at a future where alliances are negotiated more carefully, and where sovereignty matters just as much as unity. In the end, the debate is less about aircraft and more about trust. The F-35 offers unmatched performance but less control. The Gripen promises greater independence but fewer coalition advantages. Canada must decide how much freedom it's willing to trade for integration. One thing is already clear. This isn't just about buying fighter jets. It's about who holds real power in modern defense and who gets the final say when national security is at stake. This debate shows that modern defense is no longer just about who has the most advanced weapons. It's about control, flexibility, and long-term strategy. True strength comes from balancing strong alliances with the ability to make independent decisions. Canada isn't choosing between friendship and isolation. It's deciding how much ownership it wants over its own security. There is no perfect choice. The real challenge is finding the right mix of cooperation and sovereignty. Canada's decision will likely influence how other nations think about defense partnerships in the future. More than fighter jets, this is about shaping the rules of alliance in a rapidly changing world. What do you think? Should countries prioritize independence, or is deeper military integration the smarter path? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the conversation. Thanks for watching.